In this data frame, I want to look for all the zip codes which match a specific zip code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select only the column zip code and I'm going to apply this double equals filter, right? So double equals, and let's say this value. A column of a data frame is called a series. So what I get is a series which contains false, false, false for all the places where there was no match. And if there was a match, you get true. Now I can use this to filter the entire data frame. So here's my data frame. In the square brackets, I'm going to copy this entire expression. I'm going to copy it within this square brackets. Press enter and you have selected one single row that matches this number. Now you know how to look for rows which contain a specific value. I'm going to show you a few more ways in this video. So let's get started. Now let's work with a bigger file. Okay, so how big the file is? So if you look for df.shape, so there are 2 million rows and 4 columns, and you can see the top 5 rows here, right? See, first thing what we are going to do is we are going to sort this data frame so that all the zip codes are together. To sort, what you can do is we can call the sort values method. Okay. Now you simply send the column name that you want to sort. So we want to sort the zip code, right? So there we go. And you can see that all the zip codes are sorted, and by default they are sorted in ascending manner. You can change it to descending as well. Now there is one thing that you need to remember, that in most of the functions in data frame, the data frame does not get changed. If you want to actually apply the changes to the data frame, you have to send one more parameter, and this is in place equals true. This time if I check data frame, you can actually see that the zip code has been sorted, right? Now you can see here that in this row the phone number is not there, and this is, remember, this is a phone directory. So a phone directory where there is no phone number, those are useless rows, right? So we should remove them. Because Pandas is based on NumPy, so it actually uses, instead of null, it uses NaN, which is not a number, right? So that's what you see, NaN or not a number. So let's look for phone number and let's call a function isNA. Let's execute this and we can see that what we get is a series where you have false, false, false and true for all the places where you actually have matching. If I want to filter out, I can use this, okay, isNA. And there we go. So we have all these rows which do not have phone number. So there are total 99,552 rows which do not have a phone number. Now how do I drop these rows which contain NaN? So df.drop NA. Now drop NA needs certain parameters. Number one, what all columns you want to check. So this is a place where you can actually supply more than one columns. So I'm just going to begin with phone number. Now whenever you have to send more than one column, you will always use square brackets. But even if you are sending one, you still use square bracket. And this parameter has a name. So this is a subset. Okay. So if I execute this, all the values will be dropped. And now you can see that from 2 million rows, all those 99,000 rows have been removed. We are going to set in place equals true. Now the changes are done to the data frame. Now let's remove this TEL. Let's take one value and see how we would do in a string, right? So I have copied just one. And if you want to remove TEL, how would you do it? So we will call the replace method of string, right? And what do we want to replace? So we want to replace this TEL and one space with what? With nothing. So if we execute this, we will get it, right? Now we cannot directly call replace here, right? So first we do is we inform the data frame that it is a string method, right? So we are going to convert each value to string and then call the replace. And there we go. So if we don't call str, so you can see that the replacement does not happen. But if we use str, then we have this replace. But of course, this method is not in memory and we are not actually calling the method on the entire data frame. So there is no in place. So instead, what we have to do, we have to take this new column and replace the original column with it. This time, if we look at the data frame, the changes are done. All right, now let's look at the next one. Now let's fix the date. So as you can see that this date is not in the correct format. And if you want to verify, what you can do is we can call df.info method. So I'm going to show you two methods, very important methods. So df.info, and you can see here that name is an object. So object basically means a string. Phone number is an object, which is fine because we have these characters as well, right? So if you want, you can use again str.replace and remove these. Then we have zip code, which is already numeric, which is fine. But this last updated should be a date, and it is not a date. pd.toDateTime, okay? And we can send in this series. But it is not going to work. From the error, we can see that it says that unknown date. If you look at the error is unknown date time string format. So it is not able to parse this particular date. So what we can do is we can create the format. So how do we create the format? So we can look for all the codes and we can create our custom format string. So this actually can accept one more parameter, okay? So what this parameter is going to be? See, first of all, what was our date format? So this is the date in 2 digits. So 2-digit date is %d. Okay, then we have a pipe, then we have %m for month, then we have a pipe, then we have %, and this is 4-letter year, so capital Y. So this looks like a right format string. Let's execute this, and there we go. We have a correct column, right? And it is last updated, and date time is this, correct, exactly right. So what we have to do? We'll take this last updated column name and paste in this, and there we go. So this data frame, if we export to CSV, let's say phones.csv, and we don't want this indexing on the left side, right? So we can set this to false, and this CSV will contain your clean data which can be used for further processing. So that's how powerful Pandas library is. So that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.